Hey traders, Raghee here, and in this simpler futures recap video, we're going to cover some of the action that we saw today, mostly in the US dollar. So let's cover this short squeeze that we saw on the greenback, as there is some optimism out there about what this tax reform that we have been promised may look like and what it's doing to the US dollar right now. We're probably also seeing a little bit of a relief rally in the dollar and in the equities markets on the fact that, one, Irma did not cause nearly that much damage in Florida, and two, North Korea did not execute another missile test over the weekend. Well, I live in Florida. Well, my family's in Florida. My dearest friends are in Florida. So believe me when I tell you, I'm talking purely from a trader's perspective. Florida is not nearly as impactful to the U.S. economy and the kind of data that we will see in the subsequent quarters as Houston and the Harvey disaster was. Irma is not going to have the same kind of impact. It was not impactful to crude. It did not have a Gulf impact. So while Florida is a terrible event, and again, my family is back on the east coast of Florida, we were Friday going to be receiving the eye until it jogged northwest. This was looking like a very bad situation for my family. So please know, as I say this to you, I'm talking purely from price action. So the market rallying on tax reform, on North Korea not firing a missile, and somehow an Irma relief rally, I think is a little misplaced. Now, if there's something else going on, that'll be a different story. But I think the market kind of overdid it on the open here today. And what I think ultimately the dollar showed us is that the dollar yen and the euro US were both selling. Well, the euro was selling off as dollar strength dominated, and the dollar yen, as you can see, rallied as the dollar strengthened and the yen was weaker. And there was a little bit of risk appetite. The rally in the Nikkei, S&P, Nasdaq, Dow. So obviously that yen weakness plus the US dollar strength exacerbated this move. Again, unless we feel the equities markets are going to punch up to higher highs, ES, YM, and Q, and continue to punch up to higher highs, breaking the sideways overbought, oversold range, am I a longer-term bull in equities? I am. I just think where we are right now is a very fragile area for the market to say, yes, we're going to keep with this pace going into tomorrow. So the easier place to trade this is, I believe, with Euro-US or EC futures or FXE swing buys, and keeping an eye on the dollar yen or yen futures for dollar shorts and yen buys. Now you might say, well, why a yen buy? Didn't you tell me, Raghee, you're optimistic about the equities markets? I am, but I do believe we could see a little bit of a near-term exhaustion on NQ and in ES, and that could re-strengthen the yen just for a little while. And then if the dollar weakness continues, even if we get risk appetite, we could probably see the yen strengthen on a much weaker US dollar. So these are all things that when you look at the markets across multiple asset classes, as we do at Simpler Futures, you start connecting the dots. And it's this kind of connecting of the dots that offer many fantastic opportunities. And I'm just showing you a few dots that I think a few traders might have gotten a little ahead of the narrative on. And I think the opportunity is going to be for fading moves like we saw in the dollar, the euro, the yen, the Nasdaq, the Nikkei, and the S&P. And in the premium video, I'll bring you guys up to speed on the trades in the spreadsheet in the members area that I have going on right now, as well as some of the options that I've got open accompanying these setups. In the meanwhile, there's also some very interesting Forex action happening, and we'll talk about euro pound, dollar yen, as well as euro US in that premium video, and bring you guys up to speed on what I'm doing on the Forex side of things. I'll see you in the next update.